episode, or is this a?
No, this is an episode, bro. We're doing
breaking
it.
down.
Yeah.
Okay. Back at it again, like we never left. Coke and Dank, Dank and Coke. It's Dilly the Weapons.
Hey, Dank.
Hey, Coke.
A steak pun is a rare medium done well.
That's a finger, but a good one.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Should I say it well done? A steak is a rare medium well done.
Oh, you messed it up?
Yeah, I did.
See? Because I was thinking, I was like, oh, yeah. There's wordplay.
A steak pun is a rare medium well done.
I mean, if you edit it, it would probably play because I can insert my fake laugh now, but you're not going to.
Why don't you do the fake laugh? I want real laugh.
It's pretty close.
That's a good one. That's not bad. That's not bad. Three different ways to do the steak: rare, medium, well done. We're not counting in between.
You're not talking steak tartare?
No steak tartare. Just the 3 ways to do them. Just the 3 ways to grill them, or fry them, or whatever you want. However you make your steak. Yeah. That's rare, medium, well done. Because of the next 3 episodes.
Through the heart of a vampire. Hey, ba-dum-bum.
Through the
ba-dum-bum.
Steak.
Yeah. See,
the setup was weird though.
Well, that's your fault.
No, it's not. That was your delivery.
That was my delivery on your weak ass setup. I was trying to save your.
It was a weak delivery on a weak setup.
I don't know.
Yeah, it was.
It can only be one.
It was a fellowship of weakness.
Like Highlander, there can only be one.
The reason I'm talking about 3 different ways to cook a steak is because we're doing a 3-week-long special.
Arc.
Yeah, 3 weeks.
It's like the Green Ranger saga. It's gonna last 6 episodes. You're not gonna be as satisfied.
And then he becomes the White Ranger, anyways.
Yeah. Again, you're not as satisfied. Everybody loved the Green Ranger. Yeah. They're like, okay, no more Green Ranger. Yeah. And they're like, why?
Why did they do that?
I have no idea. It was a good ploy to get us all in.
Yeah.
They're like, okay, we're slowing down.
Was he green for the whole week? Yeah. Or the whole year, I mean? He was, right?
No, it was like 5 episodes.
And then he went to white like the second season, or the next season, right? Like he was green for a whole season.
Well, we're not a Power Ranger podcast.
Because he didn't have the Dragon Zord when he was white.
But I think we have a podcast idea. No, he had the White Tiger.
Yeah,
which was a badass toy.
But the Dragon Zord was Dragon Zord.
Yeah, which is a better ass toy.
It was the best Zord. Like, I remember I was so excited, the drill tail and shit.
You didn't like Titanus, which was like a Brontosaurus with like a dome body?
Yeah, I remember that guy,
It just kept bobbing
those
back and forth.
Those big ones suck. They're exciting, but they suck.
I just like, at the end of that episode, they would like just all connect together, and it was just explosions behind them.
Yeah, that's all they got. They just stand
like,
there.
They stopped firing, and they're just like, we can't move. The guy in the suit was like, just stand still.
Yeah. It's not a Power Rangers podcast. So,
we will. I think we have to know. Yeah, we have to. It's out there.
There's comics. There's Power Ranger comics. 3-week arc on something close to our hearts. Like, we love. Who doesn't love? Who doesn't enjoy?
I don't know what you're gonna say.
DC animated films.
Okay, well,
the animated ones, the good ones.
We enjoy DC, although if you've been listening, we lean very heavy to Marvel.
We do when it comes to movies. Yeah,
they've done a good job
when it comes to the live action movies.
But yeah,
we love. Like, I like DC. a lot.
DC is where it started. Like, they have some of the best ideas and some of the well kept story arcs. In their comics, have progressed them. Tell me what to do.
Or closer.
But the one thing that they have always exceeded in the brand wars between Marvel is always produced animated movies, and you can't go wrong.
They're fucking good.
When you're just taking directly from the comic book pages.
So they did it for a while, but in 2007 is when they opened up like the whole DC
the pantheon. This looked like an actual universe that they were building. Yeah.
I mean, later on they created the New 52 line, because there's 2 different. There's like the one-shot ones, or like the small continuing ones, and then there's the New 52 ones that are like 6 or 7 or 8 deep, whatever. They continue. They have continuity, but the other ones don't. It gets a little weird, but it's if you watch them all like one-shots.
But that's comic books. They're all weird, right?
Yeah.
And coming back to a lot of these are super weird.
Yep. Yep.
Specifically Superman. Superman's got a lot of things going on in his life.
That's some
that
weird
I was
shit.
like,
Yeah.
oh my god, like really? Anyway.
Yeah. So we broke them to 3 weeks for a reason. Because there's so many. There's
so much content.
Over 30 movies.
In 10 years, which is very, very...
That's crazy. They're just pumping them out.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Which is great. So what we did is we divided up... we took the Batman ones out, first of all. So that's going to be the third episode. It's going to be all Batflicks. Because there's so fucking many of them. And
those are... And if we were going to do a top 10, those would probably hit all of the top 10.
Half of them... At least half would be Batflicks. Probably.
Two-thirds.
Yeah, but 2/3 would be Batflicks. So we're trying to avoid that. So he gets his own episode of the third.
Because there's some good ones that aren't Batman related.
Yeah.
They have some really good ideas and like really good, strong concepts that they started with.
So this first one will be the first 10, excluding it's Doomsday, Superman Doomsday, because we're going to do an episode on that itself.
So we've already promised you several more episodes.
Well, I got to tell them why we're leaving Doomsday.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
But just hold us to it, because now we have to be accountable for the Power Rangers episode, the other 2 episodes for this arc.
That was a loose.
I think it's going to happen.
I think so too.
We could talk an hour about Dragon's Sword alone.
Yeah.
Like the best toy that nobody got. Everyone got that flute, but not everyone got the Dragon's Sword.
Never got the flute.
See?
So yeah,
See?
So this one. So take
10 minutes right there.
If you have the list of the movies right now, okay, you take Doomsday out, you take the Batflicks out. The first 10 of those we're gonna do. We're gonna do today, and then the next episode will do the next 10.
Correct.
I think 10 or 11.
Excluding one as well.
Excluding the others, the
Superman,
Death of Superman, which is basically the same fucking story as Doomsday. So,
which is why it deserves its own pod.
Yeah. Right. So we're doing the first 10. Besides Batflicks and Superman Doomsday today, right now, live to you, in your earbuds, or your speakers, or whatever you listen to.
Painting yourself into the corner.
Yeah. I was going to say, or your car, or your living room, but they're all speakers.
Yeah, very true. And then you said live, which is definitely not happening.
No,
there's nobody in the room like, oh my gosh, I can't believe they said that.
It adds suspense, yeah. We're live right now. If you text me right now.
So, whatever is, it's in real life. I'll give you an IRL.
So are we doing reviews on these, or are we just gonna quick thoughts on each of them? We're just gonna drop the time, and then we're gonna have a little chat about it.
Clearly, we did not plan how we were gonna start it. We just went right into it.
Well, that's good.
We'll give a little context of what was going on. So, 2007, I guess the DC world was doing what exactly? They were definitely preparing for more Batman flicks because that was definitely going on. But
when did Batman Begins drop? That was 2005, right?
Let's go to the...
I think it's 2005. And then so Dark Knight was 2008.
This is Dark Knight Rises?
Dark Knight was 2008. Dark Knight Rises, I think, was 2 years.
But if you're talking the summer between Batman Begins, or the years, whatever, if you're talking the time between Batman Begins and you get the final shot of Batman holding up a Joker card and the release of Dark Knight, the internet and everyone was a buzz to DC. DC could do no wrong. Everyone finally trusted Nolan. All their money and attention was being turned towards DC. They didn't have anything else in the pipeline other than rumors, right? So we had the rumor that we're going to get a Superman. People were still asking about a Wonder Woman. But they definitely had the attention of everybody else. Because Marvel hadn't launched anything yet? No.
2007, no, because Iron Man was 2008.
Right. Yeah. So they definitely had everybody looking at DC as the one true creator. And to follow that up, why not give... fans or potential fans or anyone paying attention an animated release?
Yeah.
And they did it.
And they did, yeah. And
in fact, they did it for 2 years until Dark Knight dropped to keep everybody wet, which is a good strategy, right? If you don't know what's going to happen in your giant cinematic universe.
Yep.
And I don't know if you have any real cartoons. I think the Batman was still going on. If not, it was Batman, the Brave and the Bold, which are so far removed from kind of the Batman Dark Knight-esque
continuity, world, universe.
Yeah, so it was more Saturday morning. This is something to keep the attention for those, I guess, serious fans or people that wanted more of this gritty, dark kind of universe.
Yeah, and whoever's idea it was just go, you know what, let's just take a story arc and put it in an anime movie and just pump it out direct to video. It's worked wonders. I don't know how much money these things make, but it does make money. Like, they make money.
It does, yeah. So,
and they're great quality.
Fans love it. Yeah. I would argue that Sin City was the first one to be like, I'm going to directly rip it from the pages because Robert...
Animated, though?
No.
I meant animated.
Fair enough. But just talking about like,
because anime is lower budget, right? You just hire some voice actors.
Well, that was all animators. That was all green screen. So
Distant City, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm just talking about in terms of the thought process of like, we don't really have to change much. Just figure out how we're gonna take this page and animate it into this. So whoever the director was, or whoever the head honcho was, like, just rip it straight from the pages. You don't have to change much. All we'll do is pay for the voice actors that we want. And their first ones out, they paid for top tier actors to voice everything, all their major characters, right? That we hadn't seen on the big screen yet and didn't know if we were going to see. So their first movie out, not counting Superman, was obviously
New Frontier,
which is their Justice League kind of,
which is a great first release, excluding Doomsday, but it's a good first release because it takes place in the 50s, right?
And it's essentially an origin story for
how they all come together, the Justice League members,
and how much aliens will play a factor into constant movies, because every Justice League movie has some sort of alien, either invasion or remembering that Superman and John are aliens.
Yeah.
So I think while Marvel was trying to let's keep this
massive spoilers, by the way, for every movie in the animated universe.
I don't think they're spoilers. Fair enough.
But we're gonna be there will be spoilers dropped. Like, we're gonna say things that are
true, but these are the type of movies that I don't think is spoiled. You can tell me everything that happens, and I'd still want to watch the cartoon. Yeah, I'd still want to watch the animated series.
Just being courteous. But yeah, so like you're saying,
how this opened the world to, like, not everything's happening in a city, in Metropolis, in Gotham. This is all happening.
It's a big world, man.
Globally and then universally, and obviously a lot of things are coming to attack us. So we need these type of characters to rise to the action. So this was good, and
it was cool seeing it all come together. Like, that was cool,
and it was good. The Arrow's fun because it was stylized like that. Yeah. So it still looked like the animated series. If you're a big fan of Batman, you can kind of see that inspired the way that they drew these characters. But again, it's 1950s, so there's a lot of, hey dame, go get me this.
Hey broad,
yeah,
go fetch me my bear. All right,
I'm a hotshot flyer. You're a dame. Go get behind it. So while that's funny, like, it probably wouldn't hold up the same way. And then obviously the villain in this was nuts.
Man, they had a great. So they had Keith David doing the voice.
The Center.
Yeah, the Center. It's just such a.
Which is just an entity.
It's just a thing.
It was a MacGuffin or whatever they call it, not a red herring. It's just a thing that they need to assemble.
Yeah, it was like this entity that lived in the center of the earth and was coming up to.
He's a villain of consequence. I really think if they were going to keep continuity, which I don't know if they knew at this point, they just needed a reason for all of us to be created the Justice League, which is what happened in the end. You get all the nice poster poses where they're all standing with hands on their hips and the wind is blowing and you see the flags and the capes blowing.
Very a lot of
Justice League of America. That's what they were building. That was the scene that they were building.
Good dose of propaganda.
Yeah, there's a lot of propaganda in this. Good Lord.
It was like ah. So I liked it. I liked the first half and the second half where everything was coming together and the Justice League members were meeting each other and like especially when Batman met Martian Manhunter.
Right. Yeah, they have a nice little.
Right. That's cool. That was a cool little thing. The introduction of Flash was cool.
Where Batman meets the actual world's greatest detective, Martian Manhunter.
Yeah, so you're going with that, eh?
I'm sticking with that. I've said that on
he reads minds and shit.
The dude actually went into business as a detective. Batman only can really figure out if Two-Face or Poison Ivy blew up this bank. Yeah.
He's talking shit about Batman.
Get at me. He got the moniker for greatest detective. I don't think he really earns it.
He works for it, man.
He's a vigilante against the law. The only police officer he wants to work with is a commissioner. How many steps above detective? And then he's not even really working with commissioner. He's just like, okay, commissioner, I'm gonna go do this.
But you're giving Yon the fucking Yon. You're giving him the fuck. I completely butchered that. But
you're giving him the fuck.
Yeah, giving him the fuck. You're giving him world's greatest detective because he can read minds.
No, because he's actually good detective, and this movie proves it.
Because he can read minds and shit.
And he doesn't. First of all, he doesn't even use that. He only goes to that if he needs to. If he touches someone like Unbreakable, then he can also feel their experiences, and that can help him on a case. But like a true detective, on his wall in this movie is pasted articles and clues with strings lined to it for him
Fair
and
enough.
his lead.
Yeah,
so
okay.
like he's
So
doing detective work.
He's a good gumshoe.
He doesn't have Alfred building a supercomputer where he just says look up Joker and it knows where Joker is. Like I would argue that Batman's computer is the greatest detective.
Would you say Batman's the second greatest detective?
Maybe. I don't know.
Okay, so you don't hate him. He's just I think he's overrated.
I just don't think he gets he deserves the moniker of world's greatest detective.
Where is he with ninjutsu?
John Jones?
No, Batman.
Does he know the ancient art of ninjutsu?
I'm just saying. League of Assassins shit. I'm assuming it's ninjutsu. Are you saying
you're assuming? Isn't that Ninja Turtle?
So are you bringing? Martial art? Are you bringing?
I think he's good.
Are you trying to bring Batman back down to earth in all frames, or just detective work?
I want people to understand that Batman is a man. So when he's going up against an alien,
he's part of the Justice League, man. They're all gods.
Clearly, this is not going to get resolved in this podcast. But this is a good first movie coming out the gate. Moving on. The next one up was Wonder Woman. Yeah, I think it was just titled Wonder Woman. There's no subtitle, right?
No, it was just Wonder Woman. It was loosely based on the Gods and Mortals Act.
Okay, great flick.
Really good.
I think my first favorite Wonder Woman flick, and not to take anything away from the actual DC.
I like this better than live action.
Yeah, like they really encapsulated her character and what her character has to do to become the Wonder Woman. Really well executed. Everything makes sense. And she's definitely the lead. She's never felt as like the second tier character.
No, she's great at it. I really like how like the fish out of water type thing. Like when she came to New York.
It's got Rosario Dawson playing Artemis, which is one of her teachers when she's back in the Amazon.
And Kerry Russell is Wonder Woman in this one, right?
Yeah.
Nathan Fillion is Steve Trevor, who's Green Lantern in later movies, and he was great.
Nathan pops up a lot.
He used a lot of voice work. He's great at it. He was great. Steve Trevor, I liked. He was kind of like what's the word? I don't want to say chauvinist. He was like a skirt chaser, but lovable.
Yeah, he's the reason kind of for the whole plot of the movie to be progressed.
Right.
But he's dropped in a world where he has no business being in, and he doesn't play it for like fear or like confidence. He's just kind of like, this is who I am, and she's got a great rack.
Yeah, it was great, man. There was a good theme about women in our society too, how it's all straight, and then at one point. Steve Trevor flips it on her like this. Well, not all men are fucking pigs, right? Like this. So it was a real good,
really sharp animation. Like I haven't seen anything this crisp in a while too, especially coming off of
09, right?
Yeah, coming off of the Justice League, which was completely stylized to the 1960s, and the animated series Batman. This was definitely a look of like, hey, we're going in the future. This is her own thing. Like this movie made it seem like her own world, her own universe. We're launching as much with Wonder Woman.
And the supporting cast was good, all of them.
Yeah,
like all the Amazons,
and the villain was good too.
Yeah.
So they knew how to handle Ares. His motivation makes sense. You get a little history lesson on Greek mythology. Yeah, because he goes to like a Hades type of world. So all of that made sense. It was great. Not much bad to say about this at all.
No, it was. I want to say contained. It was a big plot. Like it had high stakes and everything, but it was nicely contained. There was no forced in guest appearance or anything. It was good. And
a smart origin story for someone who would have never read a Wonder Woman comic or known what, especially coming out of hey Dame, go in the Conan from Justice League.
Are we giving them bottle caps?
No, that's for
the bottle caps? No.
For our top tops. We'll give the bottle caps.
Oh, we'll give bottle caps for top tops.
Yeah. For our top.
Did you just say like it or not?
Yeah, like it or
definitely like it.
This is worth seeing.
Mm-hmm.
So far,
definitely really top.
Next up is Green Lantern First Flight.
Yep, same year, 09.
So this was a good back-to-back, considering...
two origin stories in a row.
And we didn't know if DC was ever going to deal with these properties. Little did we know we were going to get a Ryan Reynolds Green Lantern.
Yeah.
But...
I didn't watch... Did you watch that one?
I have not. That's so the one comic movie I have not seen.
Because I want to know how close the live-action movie is to this one.
I think they get everything similar, right in terms of, like, he gets the ring. He has to go to Aura. Train with Sinestro, become a bit of a badass. Sinestro's like, you know what? I got another deal over here, and then I think that's where it differs with how they dealt with the actual villain in the cinematic universe as opposed to this one. This one was really good. This was like a little more espionage and kind of like a buddy cop flip flick too. Christopher Maloney, from Law and Order fame, a lot of stuff with
Wet Hot American Summer.
Wet Hot American Summer, Talking to Cans.
Yeah.
Really versatile. Like that actor alone, Oz. If you've never seen Oz, like this.
I actually didn't know it was him when I watched the movie. And I was like, oh shit,
this guy's got range, and who he's playing off of is all strong leads as well. Like Victor Garber. I think
he does a lot of TV shows.
He's a Canadian actor too. Yeah. If I'm wrong, sue me. I'm Canadian. Okay, a lot of pride.
Yeah,
but they really handled the whole Hal Jordan and the Sinestro relationship well. Which is Sinestro kind of the only one that's really backing Hal Jordan is Sinestro. He sees something in him.
Yeah, it's a cool. Well, it's a fucking shame like that you meet a guy like okay, so you come to a new job and you meet a guy and his name is Sinestro. You gonna trust that guy?
I mean,
I kind of think maybe he's a little sinister.
But like when your job place has like all these weird things that you've never seen before, like one of the lanterns is just a giant eyeball.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
One's a squirrel, Kilowog's in it, and that's one you can't trust.
Warhog,
but then you turn out that you can trust him, right? So they definitely play up how the universe is huge and massive.
It's just a poor name for a poor choice of name, but like if
that's
it's your
coming
first
from our side, right?
No,
like,
I know.
What if we're in a land where Sinestro like meant with like John Smith and they have the name Coke? Like Coke can't be a good name. Yeah, my name's Dank. Like who are we to judge? However, his look is definitely evil. He's got the permanently like down-faced eyebrows.
Yeah.
With the arches at the end.
Yeah.
That's evil if I've ever seen evil. And a super forehead.
Like their first tour out, he fucking tortures them. Right?
Yeah, so it's like a weird sort of training day before training day.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah, that's what it
is. It's not exactly, but it's very reminiscent.
It's training day in space. Yeah. So he's like, I'm going to show you how to do this.
It's the way I do things.
Yeah, this is what it's like to be a lantern.
My favorite part is when Sinestro goes, King Kong ain't got shit on me.
And then you see Denzel Washington shoot the guns.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean,
Godzilla ain't got shit on me.
There's still time, right? So, and that's the thing, like, you have Sinestro doing all these rough and like very like torturous things to get the answers that he wants, and Hal just follows suit and kind of he's either sitting back or when
he's kind of like what's going on here, right?
But when pressed, he's very tight-lipped. He's like, oh yeah, that's how it's said. Like he knows to like go with the squad. Like doesn't snitch on anybody.
No, he's a writer. Yeah,
he's just kind of taking everything in, and that I think helps the film because you empathize more with Hal, right? You're like, okay, so. He knows shit's going down, but he's still smart enough.
He's also the new guy.
Yeah, he's not gonna be tight.
So you kind of gotta watch. I have no allies whatsoever.
No,
the only guy that likes you is out here torturing people, right? So it's like,
who inevitably is going to turn on you, but you still need him. So they had a lot of dynamics going with it, but he knows he's still trying to earn stripes.
Yeah.
So this whole movie plays out of him learning to become a lantern, becoming a lantern
nobody
by his own
rights either, right?
Yeah, and then like becoming the lantern because inevitably Sinestro makes this like sidebar deal for them to create the yellow element, which is really cool, and they have to go head to head. So yeah, solid watch.
This is a good one, yeah.
Across the board, like voice work was great, animation style.
And I'm not really out there. I'm not a big Green Lantern guy. I know he's more your guy than my guy.
I like him.
But like even if you don't like Green Lantern, or not if you don't like him, but if you kind of like don't know what you're doing, this is the one to watch.
Yeah, this is how you get wet to him.
Yeah,
definitely get this, and the other one actually is pretty good too because that was an anthology of.
Yeah, we'll get to that. We'll get to that.
But coming out the gate, especially coming off of the heels of Wonder Woman, this is a great way to launch. Like, had the DC expanded universe, whatever they call it now, had the foresight, this has been a great way to launch a DC animated flick of a character and then lead us into the movie.
Right, like a live action one, yeah.
Because half the grunt work is done. You don't really have to do an origin story now if you're doing a Green Lantern movie. You can go right into, okay, Hal's already established. We've given you an animated movie. You can plug that. You can sell that before you go see the mainstream movie. But clearly they had a different... I think it was two competing forces.
Yeah.
The animated world and then
the live action, yeah. Later like it?
Yeah, like it. Definitely watch it.
We like this.
Check it out.
Check that one out. Later that year came out. So we got the Wonder Woman, we got the Green Lantern. So they brought the other Superman, Batman, Public Enemies.
Oh, good.
2009. Later that year. So
the best thing about this movie was the title.
Now, here's the premise is awesome, right? The premise is awesome, yeah.
Without knowing anything, you know you're getting Batman, you're getting Superman, and you know that the world is against them. They're the public enemies. I'm sold off of that.
It's based on the comic book, The World's Finest.
I hope the comic book is better.
I've never read it, but I kind of want to because I want.
I want to know how close they kept to this.
The premise is Lex Luthor becomes president.
Who would have thought that?
And he basically puts like a bounty on Superman's head. Yeah. Batman's with him, so he's.
Batman sees this coming.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, we can't do what we
normally
do.
And the bounty is so large that not only villains but some other heroes are coming at them, right?
And Lex is so competent at his job that superheroes are like, hey man, I'm going to get behind Lex Luthor. Despite all he's done in comic book lore.
That's true. Right.
We're going to forget all of that. We think he's changed. Obviously, the American people trust him. I trust him too. I'm going to work with you, Lex.
It's been X amount of years and the country is boring and boring is good.
The economy is stable.
And Lex isn't that bad of a guy even though he's sinister as fuck. And his voice... despite not a good guy's voice. Despite
Coke's delivery, all of that's actually the good part of the movie, right? Like just the premise and the setup all makes sense, and you buy into it. But then it makes such a left field turn that you're like, "What am I watching?"
Well, as soon as you turn it on, they're shiny and their abs show through their fucking suits, right? So right from the gate, the animation, I thought it was fucking weird.
This is how every person drew like superheroes when they were like 8.
Yeah.
Where like you didn't understand like muscle definition. Like everyone was just blocked big.
Yeah, they're all like
super balloon
they're
chests.
Like upside down pyramids with like
and
abs.
Same with women, like giant breasts that didn't make sense. Like no part of their anatomy could actually sustain like being like standing. Like their chest would cave over because they were so huge.
Yeah,
like their waist would snap.
Power Girls in it's got the fucking balloon breasts.
Nothing makes sense. So it's not getting points for animation style.
I hated it. I actually did not like the animation at all.
But they get points for voicing because they brought back Kevin Conroy for Batman and Tim Daly for Superman.
Superman.
Yeah, right. And then everyone else that's kind of circling around them is pretty good too. Just namely, Clancy Brown plays Lex Luthor and gives him that.
There's that voice, right? There's that sinister.
That's amazing. Voice. But what he's saying is so stupid.
Yeah.
And what we're not including is this B story that there's a giant meteor headed to Earth.
The meteor story is a fucking B story. While heroes are chasing, villains are chasing Superman for a bounty, and then there's a meteor, and I don't know.
So they have to fight other superheroes. They have to survive. Lex Luthor, who's also a storage junkie for some reason, and there's a giant Zord in it, which you would think we would enjoy.
Yeah, no,
we did not.
No, it's the half face.
We did not.
Yeah,
this is a skippable. Although I would recommend you have to kind of see what type of monster this is. It's not good. But you gotta know.
I'd say, if you want, I'd say skip it all together.
I can't recommend it, but you have to see it because once the third act,
if you've seen all the other ones, check it out. I guess
it's only again the.
I never want to see it again.
The amazing thing about DC animated films, they're only ever an hour and like 17 minutes long.
Yeah,
they're so easily digestible that you can run through them and be like, "Oh man, that was bad."
And Superman does dress up like Shazam.
Yeah. This one feels like 2.5 hours though, so it's doomed to repeat the curse of Superman Batman.
Like it, didn't like it. I didn't like it.
No, I didn't like it, but you have to watch it.
Yeah, I would say don't even do
that. Moving on.
Moving on. So that's the end of 2009. 2010, the first one was Justice League Crisis on Two Earths. This is the first Justice League movie. No, it's the second. Sorry, it's not the first Justice League. New Frontier.
I would actually call this the first Justice League movie. New Frontier was like, hey, we're the Justice League, so it kind of introduced you to it. So they didn't become a Justice League till the third act, and even then they didn't know.
They went right into it
because they were calling themselves JLA in the first one.
Right.
This one, they're like, "Yo, we're Justice League. We're building the Watchtower in space. Like they're already assembled. They understand who each one is and their magnitude to the team."
But you think this is where they kind of realized, fuck, these are good because they went from origin story, mashup, mess. To Crisis on Two Earths. So you get so Justice League, not only Justice League, but you also get the Crime Syndicate. It's like boom, 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 right? So it's a big movie.
It is.
It's big and it's good.
It's very good. Well, it's smart enough to like anytime, like name a superhero movie where inevitably, or a comic book arc where they don't have to end up facing themselves at some point.
Yeah.
Whatever themselves is. Like Iron Man first movie had to face
Ironmonger.
Ironmonger, right? Hulk had to face Abomination. Who's Batman face himself? Well, Batman eventually has to face Superman. But the point is, they're smart enough to know that when they have to fight their own counterparts, the story usually takes on its own life, and you get interesting matchups, especially when there's a team involved, right? So now you have a team of superheroes going up, a team of syndicates, which they're called in the movie.
Yeah, crime syndicate. Yeah, especially when you get James Woods as Owlman.
Voice casting was great in this, but you're buying it, or you're renting it, or you're downloading it on the strength of James Woods as Owlman. Because, good lord.
He's great. He's fucking great.
They have to find a way to bring him back. Because his role, even though his motivation changes in the third act of like, hey, I want to be rich to...
Yeah, he gets a little crazy. Like, that's the knock on for me. It's kind of like, okay, so what's the... He's literally... He wants to destroy all the multiverse.
He gets space crazy for some reason.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, well then what does that mean for you, dude?
But you kind of don't care because you're just listening to James Wood go up against... Is it? Yeah.
The Baldwin, yeah.
Baldwin. It's William Baldwin that does Batman this time.
Yeah.
But they're so evenly matched, and kind of, it's like a chess game between those two.
Yeah.
Because they all have a plan. And then there's this great, like, alien scene where Batman's in the watchtower in a power loader, and all the... The syndicate flash in. Yeah, the movie, literally like the movie Alien. So there's all these, like, cool little in-references. And it's basically like a what-if, because this is the first time that they're dealing with parallel universes, which DC loves to do.
Oh, they love it.
That's their meat and potatoes. This is actually a good meat and a decent potato.
Yeah, a decent potato.
Decent potato.
A couple of potatoes.
I love a piece of potato.
I eat potato.
Definitely recommend.
Yeah, this is a big one. It's a good one.
Check it out.
Yeah, James Woods.
James
we love James Woods.
James fucking Woods.
Following up later that year, they had the sequel to Public Enemies.
Was it?
Yeah.
In the comic book, or
no? Yeah, it was the next arc in the comics.
Okay,
it was the next arc in the comics. Superman, Batman, Apocalypse.
Because the animation style is completely different from.
Yeah, I think they knew it was
trash, and they try to get so far away from that as possible.
Yeah, it's based on the Supergirl from Krypton, and that's funny because it's called Superman, Batman, Apocalypse. You see the cover of the movie as Superman, Batman. You see Darkseid.
Yeah, there's split frame, so you have.
And Supergirl is in it, but you don't recognize her because she looks different.
She's in her Apocalypse wear.
Yeah, so this movie is basically a Supergirl movie.
Yeah, it's a Supergirl origin story. Yeah, which isn't bad.
No, it's good. I think it's really good.
And Wonder Woman, who should be on the cover, which is not. She has a third of the movie, and there's Artemis is back too. So the whole premise is, I guess, Supergirl falls from space. She's a meteor. There's always meteor showers, but there's a meteor shower going on in space. One hits the deck, and it's Supergirl. She's running, and she's not sure who she is, her power set, and she's just fucking up. I guess we're in Metropolis, although it's night. It might be Gotham. She hits the city, and she's running, fucking up shit. So Batman's like, yo, slow your roll, knock you out, come with me. Hold on a second. She's not from here. Yeah. And Superman comes in and is like, she's from where I'm from.
Yeah.
So instantly you have opposing dynamics on how you deal with this type of situation. Batman, knowing that this is an alien invading his planet, is like, we gotta be careful with this one. And Superman being like, hey man, I'm the last of my kind. She's my kind. She's my goddamn cousin. I'm gonna treat her like my goddamn family.
Yeah.
So they're already kind of splintering on what the best is for this young girl in this new world.
And Kevin Conroy, Tim Daly both come back. Susan Eisenberg, who did the animated Wonder Woman, as well as back. So it's all, you got the OG for the.
So they're smart enough to double down on, hey, your voice works. Let's not confuse anybody else with William Baldwin.
And newcomer Summer Glau is
Supergirl.
Supergirl. She's great. I think she's great. Yeah, I saw her. She was in Arrow. I think she's done like Firefly and shit like that.
So she's got the comic book credentials.
Yeah, but her voice was great. There's a funny little bit. It's probably unnecessary, but it was funny where Superman takes her shopping. She's like, you know what I mean? She's like wants to buy the skimpiest shit. And he's like, that's not the one. Because that's the one I want then.
Yeah, that, and then when she's looking at shoes in the window and there's teenage boys walking by and They start checking her out without her noticing, but Superman knows, just as Clark Kent, obviously. And he gives them the parental stare, and they run off. Yeah, because he's still a massive dude. I don't care how many glasses you wear. Fucking dude. Superman's always gonna be this decked out like 6'6".
He's big. Yeah, he's calm and reserved, and he's a Boy Scout. But he's
235, like
he's a big boy,
chunk of man, right? Yeah. And then so while Batman and Superman are trying to figure out what's best for this young girl, Batman inevitably, I think, has the plan of like, okay, let's go dump her in Amazon.
Yeah, he wants nothing to do with her. Like he's like, no, she's a danger to everything. And to his credit, he's a dick, but he's fucking always right. Like,
to his credit, he's still having trouble dealing with Superman, which was the last Krypton to drop into his lap. Yeah. So to deal with another one, he's playing this one differently.
So they drop her. Yeah, they drop her. We don't tell the whole story, but anyways,
Supergirl's constantly dealing with different settings and surroundings. So that's the strength of the movie. They keep dropping a fish out of water in Gotham, a fish out of water in Metropolis, a fish out of water in Amazon, and see how she would react with her surrogate parents, her 3 parents, being like, this is the best for her, this is the best for her. Yeah. Until ultimately she's like, no, this is the best for me. And then bam, Darkseid.
there's a weird portion in Apocalypse that probably the worst part of the movie.
That's where it changes.
Which sounds funny.
It's such a different movie when he makes his entrance, but it's okay.
At Darkseid, you gotta know that Darkseid is voiced by Andrew Brower,
who is Captain Holt from
Brooklyn Nine-Nine. He wasn't when he did this, but he is now.
So if you're a fan of Brooklyn Nine-Nine, you can instantly hear it, and you're expecting him to say Peralta. Yeah. But he never does, but you can hear it. God damn.
It's great. But yeah, no, the Apocalypse is arc. But one thing that I fucking love, I think it has the best fight scene at the end of the movie.
Yeah, the surprise when Darkseid comes back is great.
And it just leads into like this huge fight scene.
It makes no sense, like, practically, like, from a practical standpoint, because he just punches out of a door.
Yeah, no, it's stupid. It's stupid, but you forgive it because it's comics.
Yes, and it's a great fight.
It's a great fight.
And then they have the funny moment when Ma Kent and Pa Kent drive up and their entire farm is trashed.
It's probably my favorite fight in DC Animated. Wow. I think. It stands out to me because it's just so high octane. It's just like all over the place.
So that's my criticism of the movie. It's essentially 2 different movies that share Supergirl. Yeah. But they kind of work. They kind of tie. Like, it's a weird way to like band-aid it together in the end, but it still works.
It's not the best anime movie, but it's one of my favorites. Not my favorite, but it's one of my favorites. But I don't know why. It just is.
Animation style is great. Voice acting is great.
Supergirl's interesting.
Definitely a step up from its predecessor.
Absolutely, 2 steps up.
So maybe that helps as well. Worth checking out though.
And then next year, so that's the 2 for 2010. There's 2 for 2011. The first one up is All-Star Superman.
He's kind of stupid in this one, though.
Yeah,
there's a lot of weird shit
It's based on the All-Star. So I have a bit of a weird opinion of this movie. Yeah. The comic book is great. I read the comic books a while back. The All-Star Superman, by Grant Morrison. It's great.
Right.
I think the movie's good.
The movie's ambitious.
Yes, but
there are great aspects to this film.
That's what I'm getting at. So
it's not a great film.
It's such a direct adaptation of the book
that it's missing so much.
It hurts. Yeah. It doesn't. The book doesn't play well as a movie because there's so many
there's a lot of moving pieces in it, and there's no pacing. So if you're reading it, you can understand. Exactly. Okay, that's thought bubbles and what's going on.
It works better as a comic than it does as a movie.
To see it as a film trying to play out, it's like,
it's weird. Huh? It's jarring.
Wait, okay, wait, I like this. Oh, wait, huh?
Like you can tell it's different because there's so many different things. Like the part with Parasite is great.
Yes,
that was the best part of the movie. I think
the whole prison scene is great.
Parasite, yeah, that's where he's trying to.
So you want to start him off? How does the movie kind of open up? Superman's doing super things.
He flies. Basically, Lex tricks him to fly too close to the sun. Right. He gets poisoned with the radiation, and he learns that he's got X amount of time to live.
So great. That's a great story premise to start off to give the audience and Superman the understanding that, hey man, I only have a limited time left on this earth. I'm gonna die. Great, that's right? That's so amazing.
and then he goes. The whole story is basically him doing things for other people before he passes away.
So the first half of the movie is essentially a love story because it's just him and Lois just kind of getting to know each other and like him revealing all these little things.
Yeah.
Which is nice, but like weird for the rest of the movie because like it doesn't really come. So like if you don't know anything about Superman, this is a great intro because when he takes her to the Fortress of Solitude, he breaks down so much about him and what he can do and his power sets. And I was like, I've never learned so much about Superman without reading about him, right? He gives her everything and then announces then the shoe drops. He's like, I'm dying.
Yeah. But, FYI, I'm gonna croak soon.
But I'm that cool that I made you this super serum that now you can be Superman with me.
And he was like eerily calm. Like it was almost like you thought he was up to something. Like, and that's how they painted it, right? Like the whole Lois arc, like he's going insane. Right? Yeah, he's gonna trap me here, but it turns out he's fine. But
yeah, that was a weird.
My favorite part is the parasite in the prison scene
section.
The prison scene is the best part because he's. I'll break down the scene for you. Basically, he.
Well, okay, we'll get you there. To that scene in the movie. So he's sharing like these last moments with Lois to the point that he gave her own set of Superman powers and sewed her own Superman clothes. So, okay, they're flying around. Then they run into Samson and Atlas.
Yes, Samson and Atlas, yeah.
And then
this is where...
Then there's like a...
it's like a pissing match.
Yeah.
It's a pissing match.
I was going to say Dick's weighing competition because they all want to bang Lois, and Lois is like, do it. Like,
and she's like, let them flirt.
Let them go. Like,
he's like, why are you flirting? It's like, because it's
compete
fun.
with each other. And then the side story to that is like, while still being Superman, Clark has to like get these stories out. Like he's still like that was weird for me. He's still trying to like stay Daily Planet strong, and so like Lois is also writing articles about like Superman's dead and stuff. And like there's this weird moment where Superman is talking to Samson, and he's like, "Oh, I don't have to battle you. I just have to wait you out because you're gonna die." And he shows him like the future or like a piece of paper that says Superman's dead. I was like, this is weird.
Yeah. So
like they flash into like movie happens, and then they're in Daily Planet where like they're writing articles. Somehow Clark gets the story or tasked with the story with interviewing Lex. So it's weird to get to that, but once he gets to the jail, the prison where Lex is being held, another movie is starting, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's
and that's maybe the best run of this.
It is, yeah, because he's with Lex, and it's actually a cool scene because Lex breaks down just exactly why he hates Superman so much. So it's the first time. So that's what the movie's good about. The movie's good about peeling back layers and exposing people's feelings.
You understand everyone's motivation and how they tick
thoroughly,
and why they tick. And
it's just so jarring to have all the pieces put together.
It's dense and it's
heavy.
It's 4 stories.
Yeah, but the Parasite one is cool. So basically he's with Lex in prison. The supervillain Parasite breaks out and he's chasing Superman around as Clark Kent.
He can sense the strength that he
wants to suck him.
In prison,
he wants to leech off him.
Yeah,
he wants to suck him in prison.
Suck him in prison.
Suck him in prison, and he's very eager to. But Clark's trying to hide the fact that he's Superman from Lex
while still
protecting him.
Alive,
so he stomp on the ground to crack it.
Right. And then like he'll make the showers run so all the
steam
prisoners are, and then secretly blow his like ice breath so he can freeze them. Like so, there are all these like covert moments that were really great.
That was a great point, yeah.
And while they're trying to navigate through the prison to get to Lex's jail cell, where this is where it like lost me for me again. He steps on a tile and it reveals this like large cavernous layer that he could like.
He can just leave whenever he wants.
I was like, what? And he has, and like the whole reason for that is because his robot. He trained his robot to at a certain pitch can like act as a drill.
Yeah, it's
to do the digging for him. Why did you get a robot in prison? You're fucking Lex Luthor.
Yeah.
Why does your prison have no cameras? 2, 3, how did you dig all these stairs and like this
it's beautiful
row?
Too, yeah.
And 4, how'd you get your niece to work for you? Like,
and she's just waiting for him. She's just chilling.
The niece is in a gondola at the bottom of the prison. Like, oh, Clark, I've been waiting for you to take you wherever you want to go. What the fuck?
It's
Where's the All-Star to that? That's so weird.
And then like the whole like the pet star eater and
it's so... And that's not even the end of the movie.
No,
like they're still building
to... It keeps going.
He gets some super juice.
Yeah, so Did you? We've been talking for a long time. Do you like it or don't like it?
I like parts of it. I can't recommend it. Yeah, there's so much fucking going on.
Like it's cool because it's different, but
it's not even the worst. Like it's not even so bad that you have to watch that it's hilarious. Like I recommend watching it in pieces because then at least it's consumption. Like you can consume it better.
It
makes no sense.
I would only watch this if you really, really love Superman, and you have never read the comic part to this.
I don't know if those people exist.
Yeah, there you go. That's true. That's true.
Don't check it.
I wouldn't recommend it.
It's so weird.
But
then he's an alien, so like that's what kept me in it. It's like, okay, this guy wouldn't do any like normal, like human things.
Yeah.
But Lex is a human. What the fuck is Lex doing? Anyway.
Yeah, it's different. Anyways, later that year came the second Green Lantern movie, Emerald Knights.
Which is awesome, because it acts more of an anthology story.
Yeah, it's not a Hal Jordan story at all. He's in it, but it's not him. It's all about...
It's a non-linear, yeah. So there's a story going on.
Kilowog.
There's an A to B story, where like all the lanterns are assembled, but there's a new lantern, and they're just showing her the ropes through stories and tales and experiences that each lantern has gone through. So there's like 3 main stories, and then it leads to the Mighty story. So anyone that's looking for like Green Lantern lore or like foundation or stuff that's a little more rich, this is the one for you. Because it even puts Sinestro back into the Green Lantern's core.
See, it's kind of like All-Star Superman in the sense that it's different stories, but there's a flow to these ones.
No, it's not like All-Star Superman. All-Star Superman thought it was one story.
No, but
this knows it's several stories.
It's as a combination. Yeah, that's what I mean. So there's
not what you said. That's not what you said.
No, I said it's like it, but there's a flow to it. As in, there's different stories in it.
You dig that hole because you like. Apparently, you have that robot that if you sing a song in a certain pitch,
if I ever go to prison, I'm just gonna design a robot.
But watch out for sucking paradise.
So yeah, it's not about Hal Jordan. It's about the Lantern Corps as a whole.
Yeah, about their mythos and like what they stand for, which was really good.
Kilowog. I like the Lara story. That was cool.
That was good.
That was good.
And then the final one with the giant.
Yeah.
That was nuts. Yeah. The planet of. It's good. Maybe we won't spoil everything.
But no, yes, this one is if you really, really want to know more about the Green Lantern Corps as a corpse.
As an ideology, how they work well together while they're a unit.
This helps expand the characters there, which is great.
This is the G unit of Green Lantern movies.
Yeah, it highlights all the big guys.
And even Tony Yayo gets some shine. Nathan Fillion.
Here we go!
Nathan Fillion.
Yeah, Nathan Fillion's back as Hal Jordan.
And Jason Isaac is Sinestro, which is really good.
Sinestro isn't a jerk in this one either. He's just kind of...
He's a dick.
Well,
but he's not Yellow Element dick.
No, he's not Yellow Element dick.
Keep in mind, Sinestro has always been a dick, but it's been to the service of the Green Lanterns until he was like, nah, fuck you guys. Yellow Element to the end.
He was way more aggressive in
which makes sense.
First Flight.
Thinking that you're launching this whole second tier group to battle him. This one is and this he didn't have as much screen time too, right? There's a lot of
not nearly as much. Yeah.
There's all memory stories, so I remember him as less of a dick.
So the next year, 2012, there's 2 more movies that came out. The first one is a sequel to...
Green Lantern recommend? Watch.
Oh, yeah. I'd watch it if you really, really want to know more about it.
Watch First Flight first. If you like what they're doing, watch into it again. Emerald Knights.
It's not a necessary watch. You don't need it. Required watching.
For half spoilers for the ending, it has a Transformers the animated movie ending where Galvatron is a planet and it transforms. It's got it went planetary. It went as big as possible and it was great. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, if you have
mad
more
murders too. There's a hand clap kill. That was great. I loved it.
If you have more than a passing interest in the Lantern Corps, watch it. If you don't care about anybody but Hal Jordan, don't bother.
And watch Superman
All-Star Superman.
A terrible name for All-Star Superman.
So it's funny because the comic's really good. Anyways, it reads so much as a comic.
So recommend the comic then.
I did. Sequel to Crisis on 2 Earths with Justice League Doom, which is based on the Tower of Babel.
I like this.
This one was cool.
I like this
cool because
Doom had some good shit going on.
Yeah, it's
smart.
There's some weird portions of it, but
in terms of strategy, this one is the chess of the first 11.
Yeah. So basically,
there seems to be in terms of the villain and the story and the plot, they knew the villain rose to the occasion. Like, he knew he was battling the Justice League. He knew what he had to do, and they got the best villain to fight them, which was Vandal Savage, the man who is immortal, who's been around since Cro-Magnon Man. He has it in his head that in order to be the last standing anything, he has to get rid of these guys, which is the Justice League.
Yeah. So
he does that. He essentially assembles. First of all, he finds a way to break into Batman's Batcave, knowing this is how good he knows his rivals or his enemies or his counterparts. He knows that in order to beat the Justice League, he needs to have the plan to take down the Justice League. And he knows the one man who would have the plan to take down the Justice League,
Batman himself,
is Batman. So he breaks into...
the way that he gets somebody to break in for him, the way it happens is kind of... It's a little hokey, but it's like, all right.
It's a comic book.
I'll let it, whatever.
You forgive it because what happens next is so great.
Exactly, yeah.
He gets a Mirror Man?
Yep, Mirror Master.
To break in and download basically the second world's greatest detective, which is Batman's computer.
So first of all,
which has all the files.
So first of all, Mirror Master sneaks in and doesn't get detected. Okay, he's invisible. So you tell me Batman would just leave all that shit?
Yeah,
like easily accessible on his.
Alfred has to get down there all the time.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
No, just all
you can put locks
the
on
plans.
Things?
Yeah, the plans. You're not gonna hide, put them in at least a hidden folder.
Why? You're hiding it from yourself, or you're hiding it from Alfred?
You're hiding it from the fact that maybe you'll get access.
By who?
Anybody but you.
Me, Alfred, Batman. Or the kid that I let run around in shorts.
Yeah, you're fucking Batman, bro.
Exactly.
So you're gonna hide that.
So I'm that fucking... I don't trust anybody that I have to encrypt my encrypted files?
Correct.
Like, the Batman is, like, more harder to get into than the Fortress of Solitude.
It's easy for fucking some B-lister.
No. It took Vandal Savage, like, half a century to figure out, okay, this is how we get into this thing. You don't think there was failed attempts to get in?
No.
Vandal Savage is an immortal.
And yeah, but they never reference that. You gotta reference that. I'm not gonna assume.
You don't have to.
I'm not gonna assume,
have you watched the comic book movie?
He's been trying this for 25 years.
I think he has.
Nah, he should have said that in the conversation.
So you want to see movies where he has
25 years.
You want to see?
No,
you want to see plans A through N, and then you don't. Then you want to see plan M.
No,
work out.
I want to see one.
This was an A plan work straight up.
I want to see one line dialogue where he goes, "Finally, after 20 years, I've gotten in." That's it. That's all it fucking takes.
This you're flipping out about, but All-Star Superman, it was good.
No,
All-Star Superman was good.
I'm flipping out about it because you're confronting me about it.
This movie was good. We both agree on this.
Yeah.
So
I'm just nitpicking on one thing. And
that's how good it is. You can tell it's that good when we're on the details. That was in the details. So Savage gets the plan that Batman has always had to take down each member of the Justice League,
and he tweaks them to make them lethal rather than
to isolate which supervillains he can use in order to attack their counterparts. So it's a great face-off. So Batman has to go up against Bane.
Yeah. Superman has to go Metallo.
Wonder Woman has to go up against
Cheetah.
Flash has to go up against Mirror Man.
Mirror Master.
Man.
And then Marshmallow has to go Malefic. I can't remember fucking his name.
Malefic.
Malefic.
Snuffleupagus.
Yeah.
And then Green Lantern gets
what's her name? Is Carol chick.
Carol.
Star Sapphire. That's
Carol.
No, Star Sapphire.
And he has brilliant ways, because obviously he's taking Batman's plans to take them all down. And it works! If it wasn't for that infernal Cyborg!
Yeah, Cyborg pops up and he doesn't have plans for him, so he saves the day.
Which makes sense.
He helps him save.
Yeah, he kind of breaks... Because typically, if it's a one-on-one battle, based on the plans that Batman has specified, the hero's going to lose. But if you can get another hero to interject or to switch off, like you would have seen in Crisis of Two Earths, anytime they face each other, it's kind of a stalemate. But when someone switches off...
Like a complete counter, yeah.
Same in Public Enemies. With Shazam and...
and Hawkman.
Hawkman. Terrible. Because Cyborg comes in and he's kind of the breath of fresh air, it helps get Wonder Woman back, and then the dominoes start to fall.
Yeah, once you get one back, she was the hardest to get back.
Yeah.
The first one was the hardest to get back, and then like you said, they fall into place from then on. Savage's master plan was kind of
hokey.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, he wants to
blow up half the Earth.
using solar rays from the sun.
Yeah.
And then he'll obviously have the most riches and kind of the most power set. And
divide whatever's left amongst the Doom Patrol.
It makes kind of sense.
It's kind of fucking dumb, too.
Well, I mean, what was
But
dumb?
I mean the Justice League out of the way for this.
Fine. But what was even dumber than his plan was how the Justice League inevitably solves it.
Yeah.
Because they're just like, okay, we'll do what he did with this building, and then, but bigger.
Yeah.
Let's make it bigger.
Because they're like, oh, half the world's going to blow up with this death ray.
So I made this missile that has all these nukes in it, and I'm going to shoot it at the sun.
Yeah.
Fine, go. It's shot. So Superman and Green Lantern run off.
Well, how would he protect his base? Oh, with this shield. Oh, let's amplify the shield to encompass the entire world.
So apparently the shield makes everything invisible, so things can just go straight through it. And Justice League's like, all right, let's make it bigger so it covers the world. And I was like, yep. And so they do it, and it does it.
Yeah. And then that's it.
Movie over.
The journey is better than the destination.
Yeah.
This
could have been a two-parter. I'd be happy with the first part of the movie.
The journey is better than the destination.
Just Bane going after Bruce Wayne. Like we didn't go in detail of like how the villains counteracted the heroes.
No, that's the best. Those are the best parts.
Watch it. Like we don't have enough time to like talk about the psychology and how great it was and how like fundamentally like he got at them like so emotionally. Like some of them are very straightforward, like Superman with a kryptonite bullet, but others are like, yo. Like you affected him to like when he was a child.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's good.
And right before we finished, the voice acting back on point. Conroy's back. Daly's back. Eisenberg's back. Fillion's back. Green Lantern.
Can't go wrong.
Yeah, that's you.
Except for motivation.
As soon as I hear Kevin Conroy, I'm just like, yes,
I'm in.
Yes,
I'm in.
And then the last one we're doing, so that's 9 is the last one for this half.
So I recommend Doom.
Yeah, I recommend Doom.
Yeah.
The journey's better than the destination.
It's a good Justice League movie because you see how they work well together. They play off each other, and then it's a good counterbalance to see what evil Justice League would look like. It's probably better in the comic.
And so the next movie is Superman versus the Elite, which I didn't. Based on the comic, what's so funny about Truth, Justice, and the American Way? I had never read this.
Terrible name for a comic.
Yeah, I had never read this. I didn't know anything about this movie.
Sounds stupid, especially after all the Superman things I've watched so far.
Yeah.
But little did I know, I was fucking wrong.
This is one of my favorites. I love this movie.
This is top 3 for me, man.
Yeah, because it's
good.
Superman's hard to write because he's so
perfect.
Limitless. He's so perfect. He's so
perfect,
powerful.
Yeah.
So you can't really attack him head on, but you got to attack his ideologies and his morals.
Mm-hmm.
And so what happens when...
And the fact that he's so straight and narrow in those ideologies.
Yeah,
he's the most unwavering man, even more than Batman. Batman I've seen have to change his ideologies to suit the greater good.
Batman just won't kill. That's his thing, right?
And even now he does. So like,
but Superman is like...
There's been instances where he has. Superman, that's the one thing I don't think he's tried to. And like, no, we're not going to let you.
Batman doesn't kill.
He has.
No, not in the continuity.
We'll get
canon?
We'll get into the animated.
Let's talk about Batfleck.
He didn't kill him. Batfleck. That's a whole other monster. I was talking about the Killing Joke.
Okay, what's up?
But that's up for interpretation.
Yes, Superman versus the Elite. So his ideology is challenged as basically the entire world wants him to stop being the way he's being, and they support his ability to be the executioner.
Right.
And he's like, this is fucked up.
Yeah.
No,
they gather him in front of the UN to be like, hey, Superman, you're doing a great job.
Yeah, that's the part that kind of got me. Yeah.
But do our job even easier.
Yeah.
This makes sense, though.
Why don't you kill these guys?
I could see like a group of people that we've put into power to be like, he's made everything so easy. Why can't we make it easier?
Yeah.
Like he's so he's spoon fed the public to everything that like they want him to even do more. It's, like,
it's not like they're talking him to. They're not encouraging him to kill like bank robbers or like they want him to kill like supervillains like Atomic Skull, right? Like,
which is was the last time you saw Atomic Skull?
I've never seen him in anything.
Yeah. So he's great in this.
Yeah.
Because he's like
he's a big part of the plot.
He's their Ghost Rider.
Yeah. But so basically, he comes across a very interesting, in my opinion, interesting group of heroes, quote unquote,
or misfits with powers.
Yeah, misfits of powers who are willing to kill the bad people to do what's right.
Well, they're willing to take over where Superman left off because they're just happy to be on the same level.
At first, they're happy to be in his presence.
Yeah, just to meet him.
Like, oh, wow,
and then they're
dude.
like, okay, we can hang with you.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, we don't need you. Like, we can do it. We're the elite.
Also, probably my favorite iteration of Lois Lane, by the way, in this movie.
Yeah,
she
holds her weight.
Yeah.
And is a little bit of an antagonist for part of the movie.
Yeah,
too.
A little bit. But she's great. She's got a huge personality. It comes through, and she's hilarious in it. And she's really fun.
You understand her side and what Clark and Superman have been doing with her, like in his life, right? Like she's added such a great opposition, or just a compliment. That's
a compliment. Yeah, that's a good one
to what he's going through. And for someone that like Superman, this does great on his whole rationale and what his day to day must be like.
This is a beautiful Superman story. Like it's just
they handle his nuances like so great. There's a moment where he's just flying through the sky and he can listen to kids playing in the yard.
Yeah.
And he overhears them saying, like, talking shit about him, and he's like,
I don't want to be Superman in this game. He doesn't kill people, he sucks. I want to be the elite.
Like,
right?
that quick for them to, like, turn him to the wolves and just forget everything that he's done to that point. And he can hear that. Like, he's just like, fuck, I hear this anytime, right?
And he still doesn't turn on them. He's like, no, I'm sticking to my vow. There's a quick segment part where you kind of see what would happen if Superman actually lost it.
Well, that's the thing.
This world is terrifying.
Of the list that we're talking about today, this is the third one where involving Superman, the third act doesn't fall apart. Yeah, it actually makes the entire film stronger. Yeah, because you're like, because of shit. What is he? You think it's one way, and then they twist it out the other way. Yeah. For a podcast where we said we're gonna do a lot of spoilers, we haven't done a lot of spoilers.
We've broken down a lot of stories parts though.
Broke down stories, but we haven't told you specifically. No. And this is worth a watch. Because I don't want to talk. I don't want to ruin. This is what I wouldn't want to ruin for you. Because I found this randomly. Like I didn't even know this existed until we decided to do this list. Yeah. And what this a reward! One slipped through the cracks. This one rewards you being for a comic book fan. And I've looked at other lists because they handle everybody so well. Everyone has a full-fledged and 3-dimensional, and their motivations and their morals all make sense to them. And you can identify that.
What's crazy is I've glanced at lists of like DC anime films like ranked, right? This one's always in the middle, or like, you know what I mean. And All-Star Superman is always like top 5 or 10. I'm like, I don't understand.
Watch both of them back
New
to back.
Frontier's top 3. It's fucked. I'm like, this is I
can get weird. That because it's the first one out.
I get so too.
And a lot of people remember that style of comic book.
But why is the elite so low? That's I'm kind of like, dude.
I think it's because this is the first new gen, right? So other than Lois Lane and Superman, everyone else is a new character.
But they're cool. Manchester Black is cool. The chick with the symbiotic.
So people that are looking for something fresh and original, this is the movie for you. But if you're looking to see Superman punch Lex Luthor for an hour and 15 minutes, this is not going to be it, and you don't need it to be.
No, but this is one of my favorites. It's
great.
Yeah, it's also the last one we're doing today. Yeah, but that's the list. Fucking 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 in a row.
Yeah, nobody cares.
6.
What time is it?
6 o'clock.
What? You always get that wrong.
6 o'clock.
You gotta finish out. It's not just 1-6.
It's 6 o'clock and 66 minutes.
That doesn't make sense.
It's 666.
That would be 7:06.
I'm coming 6 o'clock.
All right.
You know, with the doc. Coming through with Spock.
I'm no selling it.
Get the card.
I'm just gonna let you go.
With 52 cards. Playing pickup in the garage.
Nope. The boxes.
There it is.
Listen to the boxes. You're the only one laughing. We're back.
For 666.
I know. The intro is like 47 seconds.
Today we're talking about GT Snow Racers.
666.
Do they still? I was gonna say produce these.
They still make them?
Yeah, they still make these.
Do they still make snow?
Yes, but no.
Do they still make hills?
But is it still the same GT Snow Racer? Like, is it still, or are they modified it with like new brakes?
Here's a question for you: when they invented a wheel, did you think they came out with new wheel, new and improved wheel? Well, I mean, they probably have.
They got different wheels for bicycles.
Fair enough. I didn't really answer your question. I just created more of a question for myself. They've probably updated it, but it's the same sort of principle of you're sliding down with a toboggan where you have a wheel where you can turn it.
Because they've been around for a long time then. Because I know we had 2 in our family.
Yeah.
For three kids.
At least.
We had 2 for 3 kids.
At least the 70s. Because my brother had one and then I inherited it.
Yeah.
And enjoyed it and then he took it back.
But these things last.
They're amazing.
They're durable as hell.
Yeah.
Even with the brakes, you know, you press nobody uses them.
Nobody uses the brakes.
But they never, mine never fell off.
It's not for brakes. It's definitely for going fast.
They're well made.
Ricky Bobby needs to make a set of GT Snow Racers.
Take them off. For those who don't know, a GT Snow Racer is the world class.
It's a toboggan. Yeah, it's a toboggan.
With a steering wheel and 3 blades.
Brakes. Yeah, and brakes. Yeah.
And it's got brakes in there.
And it's like it's a 2-seater too. Yeah.
Nobody uses brakes though.
No.
Don't use brakes. That's a bitch move.
You can do the slide turn.
Yeah, you can
slide
steer,
out.
man.
Yeah. Or just flip off.
Yeah, it's got the steering wheel attached to one blade and then 2 others
to stabilize.
Where you sit.
It's like a tricycle with skis, 4 wheels.
Yeah. It's amazing.
It's amazing.
And it's all black. And I love it.
It's all black. Yeah. Don't change anything.
No, it's so simple. It's one of the best
toys
products
ever.
Because it's just all black. You either have it or you don't.
Yeah. You got your whatever the running across and then you put water on it and you slide. There's that toy.
Oh yeah, isn't it just slip and slide?
Slip and slide. Yeah. There's this and then the water gun. Those are the 3 things. That will never. Those are always. You get one of those 3. You're like, yes. This one sucks because you need winter in order to really use it.
Yeah, you need. Yeah.
But luckily, where we live,
we have lots of winter.
We have lots of winter
and no running water ever, and we live in igloos.
What do we do?
Yeah, no, I don't know. I feel like it's.
It's in the boxes, and it comes in a box.
It's GT Snow Racer.
It's awesome.
Coming through with the facer.
You could make it for sand, couldn't you?
Why not?
You could put wheels on it.
Like treads? Maybe treads.
Something. I want to. Oh, like a fucking the tank.
Yeah, like a tank. Yeah.
Copyright Coke and Dank
666. This segment is called Heroes from a Hat, where we pick 2 random heroes from this hat.
This one.
This hat right here.
The hat you're holding?
Yeah, the hat that I'm holding.
Oh, you're picking first this time.
And pit them against each other.
This is new.
And I'm grabbing first.
In this tradition, usually I pick first.
Changing it up.
So I look. Oh! See, this is why you lost.
And I got Ant-Man.
I have Brother Voodoo.
Okay.
You motherfucker.
Okay.
So this is a race thing. Black power.
Why are you gonna do that?
What? You don't want me to?
No.
Alright. Black power.
But you don't have pin particles.
I don't, so I can't make myself tiny.
No, you can't make yourself big.
But I can make smoke and fire and manipulation, and you would be engulfed in a cloud.
Motherfucker, you Doctor Strange light.
So I say Black Lives Matter, and you go. I say Black Power, you go into motherfucker Jones. You slip into that real uncanny Okay, so I can teleport.
Yeah.
I can manipulate smoke. And I have pyrokinesis, so I got fire on the check. I can possess spirits. So you're already under my spell. I'm treating you like a fire ant, and I'm just stepping on you.
No, you can't control me because if I grow the size of a building, stomp on your head.
Yeah, but I can teleport though.
I'll make you small.
Are you making me small if your power is to make yourself big?
I'll throw that little.
Are we just inventing powers now? Because I'll do that. I'm with you.
I can just blow the smoke away with a clap of the hands.
Right. What happens when I engulf your foot on fire? You gonna blow that out too?
Yeah, I can't handle it. I can't handle it. I can't handle the magic. I can't handle the magic.
There's a lot of magic.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you're definitively saying that magic beats science. Magic beats science.
In this instance.
No, you're saying this in perpetuity, in life.
I'll just tell you that Brother Voodoo will win the fight. All right, that's all I'm gonna say.
Stumbled through that one, but yes, this motherfucker.